Great.
My name is Hannah Isabel. I'm a PCC student, and I'm also part of PCC's District Student Council. And I just wanted to note out that I don't see public education kind of listed out to your priorities, so I was wondering what you were going to dedicate towards that.
Thank you for the suggestion. 486.
Good evening, my name is Jared Lilly, part of the Native American Youth and Family Center, and I really do love your priorities and I'd like to help you see how we can support you in this. Also, just representing my card, the Native American community, two issues I want to bring up. The overrepresentation of Native Americans in foster care. I don't know of a solution, but I know we work really hard with the Department of Human Services. For example, 20% of foster kids in Multnomah County are Native American. We don't have enough families to take them in. We have like 2 or 3 Native families, foster families. So a lot of our foster kids are non-Native families. So I think there just should be more support in that, doing that. And also the state kind of follows the Portland's lead in recognizing and addressing the missing emerging Indigenous women. I know the city of Portland has a resolution about that and are taking that issue seriously. So I'd just like to encourage you to help our friends at the state also recognize that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
451.
Hi, my name is Brett Baylor. I live in Sellwood, and I believe that funding for the electric highway system within Oregon, which funds the charging stations throughout the state, I think funding starts to end on that at the end of 2019. So I would very much like to see the city enthusiastically support not just continuing the funding, but expanding funding of that. A lot of people who would like to go to electric vehicles right now have charger anxiety because you don't really know sometimes where you can charge. If we could expand that dramatically, a lot of people would feel more comfortable about going to electric vehicles, and once that happens, a lot of our environmental problems just disappear. And then to support the back end of that, we have a golden opportunity this year to cap and price carbon in Oregon through the Clean Energy Jobs Bill, and I would like to see the city enthusiastically lobbying support of that. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
I think we have time for 2 more. 431.
Yes.
440.
And again, if people want to provide input but don't necessarily want to ask, please do fill out one of the cards and we will get that.
I'm Don Stevens. I'm a neighbor of Brookline neighborhood. I'm a board member, actually. And I'm an uneasy public speaker, so bear with me. I'm involved in a coalition of neighborhoods that are concerned about diesel particulates. Brooklyn is greatly impacted, but all of the neighborhoods that surround Brooklyn Yards are, as well as the entire city based on EPA data. We are hoping that the city and then the state can take measures to reduce the particulates. And I am aware that the construction diesel rules are coming up for a vote in December 13th, I believe. And they're a good step at first. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold also. They're a good first step, but the implementation schedule is very slow, and it could be greatly enhanced by tightening up the rates of compressing the time scale for reducing diesel particulates throughout the city, particularly in hotspots.
Thank you. you, sir.
Thank you. This input is exactly what I was hoping for this forum, for you to come and give us your, here's what's missing, here's what to do. What I'd like to suggest is let's go to 8:30 with getting more of the comments, and then if you want to, you can do your dot voting on the way out, but we won't allocate time to do the voting and then come back and report back to you. Does that sound all right? I'm seeing some nods. So let's just keep calling numbers until it's time.
The next one is 428.
My name is Joanne and I live in Lentz. So I'm going to talk about urban renewal, how we haven't really learned from our mistakes of urban renewal. And instead of being urban revival, it's wound up being urban removal. And maybe what goes on is that the people who are being displaced and removed are people who don't matter as much. And we are the people who don't show up to forums like this either because we don't know about it or we don't feel that we have the social, cultural, professional, educational capital to count. So I'm going to talk about Lentz because that's where I live. We've lived here for 3 years. And the urban renewal that has been going on in Lentz did not really look much into community benefits, nor did it look into the displacement of people. And our neighbors are being displaced. They're either moving further and further east due to notices without cause or egregious rent increases. They're either living along the corridor or in cars, or they're losing their homes due to foreclosure due to increased property taxes. This is not acceptable. These urban renewal monies are coming from the funds of poor, and working class people. We matter too, we all matter. So I'm part of the Lentz Strong housing team, and we're calling out Prosper Portland for not doing robust community engagement around urban renewal. They're taking our money, but they haven't really done much for us. Of the units that have been placed in Lentz, over at the Lentz Town Center, Oliver Station and Lentz Commons were both touted as being affordable. The question is affordable for whom? The affordability is being ranked and rated according to a Portland median family income of $74,900. The average family in Lentz, if they are blessed with an education, if they are blessed with a stable job, is probably earning about $44,000. And people in Lentz, as I've been told by my neighbors, are reliant on either part-time commission, part-time seasonal, or part-time temporary jobs. Can I continue? Do you think so?
Thank you very much.
Can I continue?
No, we need to draw another number. Thank you.
Thank you. The next number is 427. Um, 477.
Hey, I'm Grant Williams. I'm from Brentwood, Darlington. Thanks for coming out tonight, guys. I just wanted to piggyback on really what Ben said. Ben made a lot of really very, I think, are what I think are very important points that really can't be stressed enough. And I know that one event like recently kind of like rings a lot of bells, like this guy that was running all over Hawthorne, booking people with a baton or whatever it was. Like the level of effort that it took for us to manage that situation, the level of community engagement, that's pretty wild. I think that we're kind of dropping the ball on getting in front of these situations. So, and I know, I appreciate Commissioner Fritz, your ability to like grasp the fact that this mental health situation is untenable, that people are allowed to destroy themselves in the streets, and that's sad to watch every day. And the only other thing that I would like to point out is that there's a real major hole in our foster care system, and that's already been mentioned, but it needs to be really like underlined and highlighted because the things that I've seen happen in the streets, doing the livability stuff that I've done, like what it takes to get people who are destroying themselves and having children, to get those children out of very dangerous situations into safe situations, the level of effort that it takes to the community to do that is, it's an unreasonable expectation. So if you could just take those to the state and see if there's a way we can get traction with helping take that kind of pressure off the community, that'd be great.
The next number is 425. $488.
I had that discussed.
Yes. 442.
Thank you. I'll speak just briefly because Don has articulated our concern on Westward from Brooklyn. And I've lived here for 3 years now, and thinking of Portland as a green city was one of the reasons I moved across the country to live here. And it's been very disappointing to learn how little has been done to control diesel. And I know the city is trying, and we support that. But the state needs major push in order to get a statewide bill through this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be there to help push it. Thank you.
450. Pass. 447. 455.
Maybe we just ask for a show of hands.
Okay, yeah, so we have about 5 minutes left. Is there anyone who has not asked a question who had planned or hoped to? Maybe a little more than we can get through.
I asked a question, but I wouldn't have asked it if I didn't. There's no going to be able to ask it.
Let's hear from people who haven't spoken yet, please. People who haven't spoken yet, so pick some of the people at the back. Hi, my name is Denise Peterson, and I wear several hats. I live in District 43, but also have a rental in Southeast Portland. And so I hear a lot about tenant protections, and I have been on both sides. I want to know what type of protections are for the landlords. What type of, and I'm not for landlords that are, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm not a slumlord, but, people seek me out to rent for me because I don't just raise, individuals' rents. And there also used to be a landlord-tenant workshop on a Saturday, and it was abruptly canceled, and I had signed up for it, so I would like to see those continue. And then my other question is the unreinforced masonry for individuals who have homes and people that are on fixed incomes and seniors that their homes were built before 1979, and then the Federal Medical Leave Act. This is the end of my other question. Adding the word, amending the law to say siblings, and if we can't do it federally for all 50 states, can we do it here in the state of Oregon? Because a lot of employees do not know that siblings is the only one individuals that's not included on that particular law, and it's only because I was faced with the situation. So, and transportation is up there, the congestion, I said, thank you, Mayor and Commissioner. Thank you so much, those are all good issues. Is there anyone who just think?
Someone else has? Okay.
Hi, my name is Jay Singh. I'm a field organizer with the HANA, the Asian Pacific American Network of Oregon, and I'm also part of the Community Involvement Committee with Portland. I just want to thank both of you for supporting Portland United Against Hate Coalition. And if you can, pass that on to the state. I've been working a lot with asylum, 123 asylums at Sheridan, and help release them. So with increasing Islamophobia we're seeing in the streets of Portland, I just want to thank y'all for supporting that and continue to make our community safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there someone on the side of the room who didn't get a chance to ask? Okay.
Hi, thank you for being here. I'm Shannon. I do want to reiterate a couple of points that have been made just to emphasize how strongly I support them. So homelessness is such a major concern in our city. And I know you've been given a mandate by other voters with the housing bond to address the housing issue with greater flexibility. And I'm hoping that you close the communication loop, because you may have to go back to voters again and ask for more money and support. And I feel like we're not oftentimes communicated to during the process to know what you've done to be impactful. I mean, we may see people leaving the streets, but we may not know what you're doing. And so finding ways to close that communication loop is oftentimes an asset to government that's overlooked because of your slim and overworked, loving staff. I would also like to emphasize the preservation of existing trees and not just the replanting of trees as we grow. As it said, was made earlier, noise abatement is a concern, livability is a concern. These are things we treasure in our city, and I want to see them protected. The RIPSAC process with the universal overlay map to increase density, changing the majority of the city's neighborhoods, is a concern of mine because it neglects the 2035 multi-year informed comprehensive plan. So I'm watching that very carefully and concerned about just a universal overlay. And then finally, national politics is going to get increasingly intense, and we know that PDX is a hotbed for city protests and civic